All right, what's up, guys? YouTube fans, YouTube subscribers. I want to talk about a topic on how I pass the FTMO challenge here for the 100K. A lot of people are asking, what are some tips, advice, and I want to run through the 100K challenge where I passed the challenge and the verification process, and I'll go through you guys my mindset behind that. So we'll talk about here. So I want to run down to what happened in the beginning because the most important thing is the beginning when you start the starting line when you're trying to run a race or you're trying you're trying to begin your first steps of success. So the most important thing for me was I wanted to make that profit or enough profit ahead to where I'm not way behind trying to play catch up on the very last couple of days or the very last 2 weeks of the 30-day trading days. So that is my mindset. So how I look at it is that if I want to, like I said, if I want to succeed, I want to go ahead and win right away. And I'm going to be highly aggressive trading the account. And so I know not a lot of people are into high risk aggressive trading, but I'm speaking to those that actually do want to be a high risk and aggressive trader because, the more risks you take, yes, there's more losses, but that's where you make the most amount of money. And so that's the most important aspect when you come into high risk aggressive trading. Now, with that kind of style of trading, you have to understand the losses with their restrictions, right? So a max daily loss of 5,000. We'll go back up here, right? So right here, what I want to highlight is your max daily loss is 5,000, and I almost hit that, and so I was like negative 4,900, and then I started closing out my trades, and this is where I ended up, taking this toll. So I was way behind, 4,500, 4,400, and so you have to understand the max day loss is very important, and your max loss is the second important thing. So if you are going to try and make 10,000 in profit, then except for my sake and my way of trading is I want to make that 10,000 within the first week. Is it possible to make 10,000 within the first week? Yes, it is, because the next day I made 11,200. So anything is possible, but you have to anticipate the right movements with the right timing and the opportunity when you get in with these trades. The trades that I took was mostly on gold, the pound, euro, and a little bit on UCJPY, but mostly was on the pound and gold. Those two pairs paid paid the most amount of profit for me and the most rewarding pairs for me. So that is another aspect when you look into trading pairs. I don't know what your favorite currency pair is. If your favorite currency pair is just euro to the dollar, then trade euro to the dollar. You have to understand that the more pairs you trade, the more losses you can incur, because if you're not familiar with your technical analysis on those pairs and the fundamentals behind that, what could possibly happen with the central banks, what could possibly happen, with the pandemic, with those countries, what could possibly happen with political tensions between two countries. So there's other factors when it comes into fundamental trading. I'm not going to go too much into fundamental trading because that is not the subject that I'm talking about. So that is my mindset behind of trying to make the most amount of profit and stay ahead of the game within the first week of trading. And a lot of people are probably, like I said, this isn't for someone that's going to be low risk and conservative trading, but this is for those that actually wanted to see where I'm going with this on high risk and aggressive style. With a high risk aggressive style, you have to approach the markets a different way, and you have to understand that more losses is going to occur, but you will, like I said, you're going to exceed your rewards and profits if done right. And so understand that the emotional impact of stress, depression, what else? I mean the anxiety of trading high risk all the time. And so, to be honest, you have to dive down your emotional situation along with your discipline, along with, with trading high risk. And then I want to hop into the I don't know, where's my verification at? Verification, if I can get back. Oh no, that's not that's the one I blew. No, I'm trying to see the verification. I want so this is the verification. So once you pass the 10,000 profit, 10 days of active trading, you don't incur your max daily and your max loss. Great, but this is the verification process on the 100,000 challenge. Now, obviously, Obviously, all I do is just trade, micro lots until it hits 10 days. But on the first day, I almost passed it on the first day. So this was my first day, right? And then this was my second day. So on the second day of trading, I passed. And like I said, my goal is to get there as soon as possible so that I don't have to try and play catch up later on. What the biggest problem is that people, for those that are conservative trading, I don't have anything against conservative trading, but it's not enough to where you're trying to progress through further and further and further. Okay, I understand there's consistency, but at the same time, you still want to grow your consistency. You get what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is that if you're consistently making $1,000 a day, well, how about next month try and make $2,000 a day, and then the next one try and make $3,000 a day. That way, you're consistently growing, and actively trying to make your skill set even stronger and better. You don't just want to stay the same path of success. You guys get what I'm saying? Some people just stay conservative for a while and then they get lazy and they stay too comfortable. Especially, I don't care when it comes in any business, and that comes with any business and any lifestyle, that you get too drawn into comfort mode. And so for me, I always want to shoot for the highest. And I always want to make sure that I try to get close to that target, or get close to that goal. And that is my way of thinking, and the mindset when it comes into actively growing and actively learning at the same time. When I incur these losses, to be honest, when I incur my first losses, and we're even blowing the first, 100K FTMO account, I understand for myself that, okay, the mistakes that I made is the same mistakes that was made, prior in other trading. So it goes back, like I said, it goes back to how fast you're approaching the markets aggressively. But at the same time, you got to be ready when you take these losses, so that you're not trying to go when you're not trying to go above, your max losses here, especially for the daily loss, because it's very crucial. If you take that loss, you automatically forfeited the account, and they're already going to take you off the account anyways, and it doesn't matter what you do with the account. So just something to think about, especially for those that wanted to make this work for themselves, especially the way I trade. And a lot of people are been trying to trade aggressively and high risk at the same time. And like I said, there's a lot of great high risk of, professional traders out there. I don't know if anyone is willing to showcase, you know, besides me. Like I said, I know there's a lot of great professional high risk aggressive traders out there. And so I know I'm not the only one out there. Like I said, I want you guys to take this from my experience and to dive down and take a look at, where you want to go in your path. And if you do decide to do FTMO, make sure you understand um, the max daily loss and your max loss. The most important thing is your max daily loss, because if you're floating profit loss, if, like, let's just say you're swinging an account, I don't recommend swinging on FTMO. If you're swinging a negative trade, that counts as a negative P&L, profit loss. And it kind of sucks because you can turn negative equity in swinging into positive, if swinging the correct positions at the right time. But they don't really count that. They just count as negative margin, as negative equity. So if it's negative equity, then they're just going to count it as a loss anyway. So that's the downfall with FTMO there. But like I said, I don't recommend swinging any of these accounts, especially for FTMO. You got to stay in the head of the game. Scalping, day in and day out, especially if you want to make the big money. So I know it's kind of to be honest, for me, I don't want to come back to scalping, but I have to do this if this is if this is the objectives for what they're doing. And so, other than that, I hope this video makes sense for you guys and that it has helped you guys and those that want to make this work for FTMO. Take the challenge. Like I said, you know, you don't have to take the 100K challenge, but if you want to pay $640 for the 100K challenge, be my guest. You know, but like I said, it's something that you can take upon yourself. Like I said, there's other prop firms out there, but so far nothing really beats FTMO's guidelines right now. So from what I've seen so far, so but that is it, guys. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.